Thank you for your interest in completing a permit application in Suffolk County. This tutorial will walk you through an application for a sewage disposal system for a new single-family home. The approval process helps ensure that sewage disposal systems are properly designed, maintained, and operated, minimizing the possibility of disease transmission and the potential for contamination of ground and surface waters. Keep in mind, submitting a complete application with all of the required information on both the form and design plan will result in a faster review and approval time for your permit. Application instructions and general design plan examples can be found on the Health Department's website under the Residential Permit page. Other resources can also be found on the Health Department's website, including fee schedules and the standards that guide the approval process. You can also submit an online permit application, pay by credit card, and track your permit status through the county's new submission and status terminal at www.suffolkcountiny.gov/SST. Let's get started. You will need an application for sewage disposal and water supply facilities for new single-family dwelling. In the bottom left-hand corner, you should see WWM-059. First, complete the contact information for the applicant, agent if applicable, current property owner if applicable, and your design professional, a surveyor, engineer, or architect. Please include your email address for prompt response time. Next, enter your tax map number. If you do not know your tax map number, refer to your tax statement or contact your local assessor's office. Now, enter your property location. Enter your subdivision name and lot number if applicable. Enter a previous Health Department reference number if you've applied for a permit for this location before. Please indicate your water supply, proposed number of bedrooms, and the city in which construction will take place. Check the method of sewage disposal, a conventional septic system, or public sewers. Confirm any of the following permits or approvals are required. If your lot is within 300 feet of any body of water or wetlands, approval from the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation must accompany the application. Visit www.dec.ny.gov/permits for more information. Wetlands, zoning variances, or other permits that may affect placement of disposal systems must be submitted before approval can be granted. Finally, read the authorization statement and print and sign your name. If you are applying online, you will need to confirm that you have read this statement. All applications must be submitted with 3 prints of a plan up to and including 11 by 17, certified by a licensed design professional or surveyor. Missing information will result in a delay of your application being approved. All of the required information can be found on the instruction sheet that accompanies your application as well as online. Now we will review a typical residential survey with a private sewage disposal system, highlighting the required information for approval. First, clearly indicate the lot location, distance to nearest cross street, dimensions, meets, and bounds for all existing property lines. Show your Suffolk County tax map number and, if applicable, subdivision name, number, and lot number. Plan should also indicate the location of surface waters, such as a stream, river, or lake, ocean, or wetland within 300 feet of your plot. Elevations on all property corners and center line street elevation should be indicated. Include 1-foot contour lines showing proposed final grade for a 20-foot radius around the proposed sanitary system if applicable. First floor elevations of dwellings and garages should also be included. Next, show any and all proposed and existing structures to be installed on the property, including but not limited to dwellings or building structures, proposed sewage disposal system and water supply, sewer lines, water lines, driveway, sidewalk, swimming pool, patio or deck, dry wells, storm drains, and all drainage structures, geothermal walls, etc. You should indicate if any of the existing structures are to be abandoned or removed. Floor plans must also be submitted for all structures on the property. Clearly label each room as to whether it is existing or proposed. You should also show any unusual site conditions that may affect the design or operation of the sewage disposal system or water supply. These conditions include swales, bluffs, hollows, or slopes in excess of 15%. Next, indicate the method of drinking water supply of neighboring properties within 150 feet of the subject lot. If any neighbor within 150 feet uses a well, show the exact location of that well and the separation distance to any sanitary structures on the subject lot. State if surrounding lots within 150 feet use public water or are vacant. If you are proposing to use a well as your source of drinking water supply, show the exact locations of any sanitary systems within 150 feet of your well. Be sure to include any sanitary systems on neighboring lots. Next, indicate the distance to and location of nearest public water main. If the subject lot is proposing to use a well as a source of drinking water supply, submit a water availability letter from the local water company detailing the exact distance to the nearest water main. If you are proposing to install a new leaching structure, submit test hole data showing soil conditions to a depth of 6 feet in excess of the proposed leaching pool bottom, or until a strata of 6 feet of virgin sand and gravel acceptable to the department is encountered. Test holes shall be a minimum of 17 feet deep and 6 feet into coarse sand and gravel, or to 6 feet below groundwater. Provide grade elevation at test hole sites, and indicate the date of the test and supplier of test hole data. Geographic location of the lot may require Health Department witness test hole in addition to your submitted information. In areas where there is less than 7 feet from existing grade to groundwater, or a slope greater than 5%, a grading plan showing the sewage disposal system and proposed grading is required. A grading plan may also be required during review under other conditions. If the lot is to be served by public water and sewers, submit 3 prints of a plan by a licensed design professional or surveyor containing the items discussed earlier. You do not need to include test hole data unless a temporary sewage disposal system is necessary. Your plan should also include the location of the sewer stub in the street and show the house connection. You will need a letter from your sewer district confirming the ability to connect. If any other permits or approvals that may affect the site design are required from other agencies having jurisdiction over your project, you must submit a copy of that permit approval for review. These approvals must be obtained by the applicant and submitted to the Office of Wastewater Management before a Health Department permit can be granted. Applicants must submit floor plans no larger than 11 by 17 for all structures on the property. Clearly label each room as to its intended use and indicate whether it's an existing or proposed room. Please show all structures in their entirety and include all areas finished or unfinished, such as a basement, attic, bonus room, etc. Floor plans may be hand-drawn as long as all information is provided. Each application must also be accompanied by a fee. Payment can be made through check, money order, or credit card. If any new sanitary and/or water supply components are to be installed, you must pay the full residential permit fee applicable to your project. If no new sanitary and/or water supply components are to be installed, you are certifying existing components already on site and field inspections are not required. You may submit the miscellaneous fee. Current fee schedules can be found online. Additional fees may be required if during the review process it is determined that field inspections are necessary. If it is determined that a covenant or easement is required for the project, the processing of that covenant or easement must be completed prior to the issuance of a permit. The property owner or developer must also affirm through a signature and date regarding Article 6 exemption. All submitted design plans should contain the architect, engineer, or surveyor's original stamp or signature. These plans should also have a clear area at least 3 inches by 5 inches for the department's approval stamp. Once your application and design plan are complete, you should submit to the Office of Wastewater Management along with your fee. Once your application is approved for construction, you have 3 years to construct your sewage disposal system. Please note you need to request an inspection before approval for use is granted. Inspections can be requested online through the Submission and Status Terminal or by calling 631-852-5754.